The University of Missouri is home to numerous labs, but the Department of Human Development and Family Science, or HDFS, is perhaps one of the most extensive and historic that you can find. From education to research, HDFS focuses on the science of being human through interactions with family members, teachers, schools, peers, social media, and romantic partners. I'm Rachael Norden. Do you remember what you wanted to be when you grew up? March is Career Awareness Month, and Dr. Kellie Seals, Assistant Extension Professor and 4-H State Specialist in College and Career Pathways, talks with us just ahead on HDFS's Extension 4-H, where they're equipping young people with the tools they need to answer that question. What do I want to be when I grow up? And prepare them with the career and social skills necessary to be both life and work ready.
My passion is to help people understand that careers aren't always linear, right? And so you'll hear the word staircase or the ladder or
Climbing the career
ceiling.
ladder, kind of, yeah.
Exactly. But really, it's more like a mosaic of personal pursuits. And so we have 4-H specialists and educators around the state helping young people figure out why they want to pursue careers and what their values are and their strengths are, rather than just presenting them with, here's a prescribed methodology for getting toward a certain career, because we know that it's messy.
Especially these days.
Yes.
It seems like a lot of the formulas that were kind of like the step up the ladder, kind of A to B to C, all the way to Z, is needing a new approach for a lot of people these days, especially young people. So tell me about how, I guess, yeah, dive a little bit more into what kinds of things, what conversations do you have around that?
Sure. So college and career programming isn't necessarily, here's a FAFSA and here's, the ways to get to a certain space, but rather young people need supports, and the way that they choose careers is through experiences. So what got me interested in this area is I would interview some of my students in high school and ask them, what they wanted to do in their life, and they're telling me, and I'm realizing, oh, this is because you've been exposed to that area. And so you tend to pursue things that you've been exposed to and you've had experiences with. And then if you've ever asked young people what they want to do, what their favorite class is, a lot of times it's not always the subject, but what is it that influences them? Why is that their favorite class? It's because of the teacher. And so that got me interested in the relationship side of career interest development. So when you're making scary decisions, such as decisions for your life, your support network is incredibly important. Your family, your friends, and the mentors and leaders in that program will help you with your self-efficacy and confidence in pursuing something scary. So it's not just showing young people how a plant grows or how a machine works. Instead of it's helping them kind of have a relationship with that plant or machine, and it's personalizing it. It's helping young people ask, do I want to do this again? Do I like this? Could this be part of my identity? So those places where trust is involved is even more important. Not saying that, relationships aren't important in all areas, but particularly in college and career programming.
Yeah. And I wish I could say that my life is different than what you've been describing, but I've pretty much, for me personally, I was a band kid, and it was my favorite course, my favorite teacher, and I went into music education because of that, and now find myself completely in a different sector, and have gone in between those things in totally different ways based on opportunity and experience, and just kind of taking those opportunities where they come. And I can attribute a lot of that to kind of the career education that I received growing up, not only in school, but also through apprenticeship, mentorship programs, extracurricular programs, and 4-H, for example. But that was also 20 years ago. So how have these programs changed over time, like 4-H?
Exactly. I like that you said that those pieces came together to help you make your decisions, and those are the parts that we're focusing on, is helping young people see that the choices they make, whether it's for family, let's say people want to stay close to family, and so they're taking advantage of opportunities because that is their value at the moment in time, or people make career choices because of interests and passions. People make career choices because of money. Or educational choices. And all of those pieces, there's not one that's more better than another or more valuable than another. So in 4-H college and career programming, we're really focused on helping young people identify their strengths and interests and sort of match them, not label them and force them into a certain area, but rather highlight what their strengths are so that they can make informed decisions. So we're focusing our programming on helping young people identify why they're making those choices and advocate for themselves, rather than kind of taking a hierarchical approach like, well, you're not as good as this other person who wants to get a doctorate degree. That's, we're taking that out of our programming and ensuring that people are aware of their choices and values and strengths. And then also helping them understand that different experiences are like a mosaic. A career is like a mosaic of pursuits rather than the step ladder like we talked about. But it's also not just a chaotic mess either. So there's something in between that those pieces fit together. So when they have an experience in their life, there's transferable skills that they can use in another space. And so helping young people understand that whatever they choose for whatever reason in that time in their life, it's valuable, and how they advocate for it, how they find resources when they get stuck, how to be lifelong learners, because we know that the job landscape is changing. And so in schools, as teachers and counselors, we do like this prescribed, there's a certain steps to get to where you are, because, the answer is D in a math problem. You mix these chemicals together, it's going to make this. So we like that control, and there's something to be said about it, but we also have to kind of relinquish the control and let go and help young people understand that career pathways are messy. That doesn't mean we just float out there in the wind and wait for whatever to happen to us. But we are more aware and ready when life changes, when challenging situations happen. And we're equipping young people with the skills, the awareness, and the tools to make those decisions, find resources they need, build their social support networks so that they can be successful in whatever they pursue. So that's how the programming is kind of shifting.
Because that does seem, I don't want to say different, but more focused in career readiness than what I remember from my time in 4-H, which again, 2 decades ago, long time ago. But so when we talk about the programming, just to clarify, are we talking about 4-H or are we talking about HDFS?
So 4-H programming is my area. But HDFS, that side is about the kind of identity development and youth development in general. So 4-H is a youth development program, and it's through Extension as our land-grant university. It's our youth development branch of Extension. So the programming that I work with is the specific college and career programs that Missouri 4-H offers, such as Youth Futures, or there's financial literacy programs such as On My Own. But we really, everything in 4-H, whatever project, club, or program is offered, careers are tied to that, because it's 4-H's mission to ensure young people are life ready and work ready, no matter what topic they're exploring. And so, really, my area is not just here are these 5 programs that I run, but rather I'm looking at 4-H as a whole and figuring out where can career development be implemented in all that we do. And that could be as simple as helping guest speakers who come to 4-H clubs and programs, preparing them a little bit more to tell their career story. Something that simple can help the listeners, the participants, hear an authentic, real life account of someone's career path being a little windy. And so that gives them confidence and something real to grasp at.
I can definitely see the value in something like that, and sharing those kind of authentic stories, because there is just so much pressure put on kids to figure out what they want to do by the time they graduate, which is, I don't think any of us have really ever figured out what we want to do. So I appreciated earlier, I wanted to pick out that you talked about transferable skills and you talked about these lifelong impacts, and that it seems that even though we're focusing on youth and young people, these are stories and narratives that people can engage in at any point in their life. Would you agree?
Absolutely. So not just for youth, but adults too. Your career journey, or mosaic, as I like to say, is your own, and it's still being shaped. So I also like to point out that you can provide value into the world without something being like fitting into this career category. So if you volunteer or if you have a hobby, that is contributing to your community. It creates value through community relationships. You could be a voting member on a board, so you're impacting your community in some way. Your mental health is important, so you having a hobby fits, within the value that you contribute to your society. And so I like to kind of blend the boundary there between career and hobby, because just because something's maybe not earning you a paycheck, it doesn't mean it's not part of who you are and how you
Oh my
create
gosh.
value.
I would even argue that it's more of who you are. I mean, not everything has to make us money. We need those things that don't make us money. It doesn't always have to be about money. So kind of pivoting a little bit into getting involved in 4-H, whether from a youth perspective or an adult perspective, how do people get involved with this program?
Sure. So 4-H offers a diverse program modes. So there are these clubs that most people think of when they think of 4-H, and they're called community clubs. And they meet usually once a month, sometimes more often. And then young people choose different projects within the club that they can pursue, such as arts and crafts or public speaking or animal husbandry. There are so many. Another mode is in school and after school offerings that we have. And so a lot of the college and career programs that I work with are in school and after school, where a 4-H professional will come to a school, usually get in with the counselor, teacher, principal, and they'll say, I've got a great program. I can come 6 times once a week for 6 weeks and do a certain 4-H program. And so all the young people sitting in the classroom are receiving a 4-H curriculum or program. And or there could be after school special interest clubs. That's another modality that we have, where it's all about college readiness. You could have a club just about that. And so that's a little different from the community clubs that are general. You can contact me in email, Kellie Seals at missouri.edu, and that's KELLIESEALS. And teachers can also request some curricula and help from youth program associates in their areas to come serve them with college and career programming.
That was Dr. Kellie Seals, Assistant Extension Professor and 4-H State Specialist in College and Career Pathways at the Department of Human Development and Family Science on Career Awareness Month happening all March. Maybe this episode had you reminiscing on what your dream career was as a kid, or, like me, appreciating that even as grown-ups, we never really stop asking that question. So, what do you want to be when you grow up? I'm Rachael Norden, and you've been listening to Thinking Out Loud from KBIA 91.3 FM.